Under the cold touch of St. Petersburg stones, the most noble masterpiece ever created by human hands came to life. The story of Peter Karl Fabergé, the greatest Russian jeweler, is not just the rise of a family business, but the birth of an art that forever changed the world's perception of luxury. In 1846, the man who would later become the jeweler to the Tsars was born, and whose name is still synonymous with the finest craftsmanship. Gustave Fabergé founded the jewelry business in 1842 in a humble workshop near Nevsky Prospect. His son, Karl, however, felt even as a child that fate held more in store for him than a simple jeweler's inheritance. During his studies in Dresden and his grand tour of Europe, he absorbed the secrets of Renaissance, Baroque, and Rococo styles, while studying the masterpieces of past centuries in the treasure troves of the greatest museums. When he returned to St. Petersburg in 1872, he was no longer the same young man who had left. The flame of art burned in his eyes, and the vision of a new world in his heart. While cataloguing and restoring the Hermitage collection, Fabergé discovered something that defined his entire life's work: the forgotten technique of guilloche enameling. He perfected this complex process, in which transparent enamel is applied to fine patterns engraved in metal, to such an extent that it remains unmatched even today. The secret of the guilloche technique lies in the precise geometric patterns, waves, sunburst motifs, and moire effects, which were engraved into the metal on special lathes, and then the transparent enamel was built up layer by layer. Each layer required another firing, and a single moment of inattention could ruin the entire work. The year 1885 was a game-changer. Tsar Alexander III wanted a special Easter gift for his wife, Maria Fyodorovna, and he gave this important job to Fabergé. The first imperial egg looked simple on the outside, with its white enamel shell, but inside there was a golden yolk. And inside that yolk, a golden hen, and inside the hen, a tiny copy of the royal crown and a ruby pendant were hidden. The Empress loved it so much that it started a famous tradition. Every year, a new imperial egg had to be made, and Fabergé was given complete freedom to design it however he wanted. But the real magic of Fabergé eggs isn't just their shiny outside, it's the hidden wonders inside them. Each imperial egg is like a secret world that comes to life with just a touch, right before our eyes. When you gently press the 27-carat Siberian emerald on top of the rock crystal egg, a complex machine starts working. It spins 12 tiny paintings inside the egg. These pictures show palaces and homes that were special to Nicholas II and his wife. It's like a personal scrapbook, keeping the story of their love carved in gold and jewels. But the surprise in the coronation egg is even better than any other mechanical masterpiece. It's a perfect tiny copy of Nicholas II's royal carriage, made of gold and only about 4 inches long. This miniature carriage isn't just pretty to look at. Its wheels really turn, its doors open, its spring shocks work, and it even has a folding step. Master George Stein worked for 15 months on this amazing creation. It was made with such careful detail that you can see every part of the coronation ceremony on it. But perhaps the most charming are the mechanical animals that come to life inside the eggs. From the peacock egg, an 11-centimeter mechanical peacock walks, moves its head, and beautifully spreads and then folds its rainbow-colored feathers. It supposedly took 3 years to make this peacock mechanism, which copies the real animal's movements so perfectly that it almost breathes. The silver-gilt swan in the swan egg rests on an aquamarine block, as if floating on a lake. When its mechanism is wound up, it spreads its wings, shakes its legs, and proudly lifts its neck. The bay tree egg is special, even among all the Fabergé masterpieces. It's a beautiful bay tree in a gold pot. The leaves are made of nephrite, which looks like bay leaves. A hidden mechanical bird at the end of a branch is the egg's famous singing surprise. When the special mechanism is turned on, a tiny mechanical songbird pops out from the branches, flaps its wings and sings. Then it goes back into its filigree hiding spot and the leaves close it up as if nothing happened. Personal memories and secret messages also found a place in these eggs. On the side of the lily of the valley egg, you press a pearl button and the crown lifts up, showing 3 tiny portraits. These are pictures of Tsar Nicholas II and his daughters. Inside the mosaic egg is a portrait of the royal children. This was one of the sweetest and most private surprises for a mother's heart. Every mechanism, every tiny detail tells a story, capturing a moment from the Romanov family's life. Now that life only continues to exist in these wonderful eggs. Behind the creation of the Imperial eggs were 2 brilliant workshop masters, Mikhail Perkin and Henrik Wigström. Perkin, who led the workshop from 1886 to 1903, was a key figure in the era of imperial commissions. Under his hands, 28 imperial eggs were born, including the famous coronation egg in 1897, which hid a perfect 10-centimeter replica of Nicholas II's coronation carriage. The egg was made for the Tsar's coronation ceremony in 1896, and the tiny working carriage accurately depicts the carriage Nicholas II used for his coronation. After Perkin's death, Henrik Wigström took over, who was of Finnish origin and steered the style towards neoclassicism. Wigström created the most complex mechanical eggs, such as the mosaic egg and the winter egg, which were not only jewels but also wonderful mechanical structures. The secret of the Fabergé workshops wasn't just in the guilloche technique. They also made new things with cloisons. They filled cells outlined with thin gold wires with colorful enamel. This created bright, detailed patterns that came from nature, Russian folk tales and royal symbols. Russian hard stones like nephrite, rhodonite, chalcedony, obsidian, and the special kaholong, which is a porous opal, all came from the rich mines of the Urals and Siberia. These stones were worked with such care that the lines between each piece could not be seen with the naked eye. Beyond the imperial eggs, Fabergé's world was rich and varied. His animal figures, like the jade frog, the citrine bulldog with sapphire eyes, or the agate mouse, were each carved from a single stone, and every single piece had its own personality. The flower arrangements perhaps held the deepest feelings. Delicate stems in crystal vases, as if they were a freshly picked bouquet, but every part of them, the petals, leaves, and stems, were made from jewels, gold, and diamonds. These flowers were a favorite of Nicholas II's wife, because they brought spring to the palace during the harsh Russian winters. Cigarette cases, picture frames, and jewelry boxes all showed the special style of Fabergé. Using different colored golds, like pink, white, yellow, and green, was also new. They made these colors by mixing different metals. Every piece was made to work perfectly, but it was also a piece of art. The mechanical toys, clocks, and tiny paintings were all examples of the best craftsmanship. Fabergé's way of thinking was very new for his time. He believed, if an object's value comes only from its jewels and gold, then it truly has no value. This idea allowed for a lot of creativity. It meant that even simple materials could be turned into amazing works of art. The balance of shape and purpose, the element of surprise, and the very fine details, these were the main parts of the Fabergé style. In 1917, the revolution brought an end to this brilliant era. The workshops closed, the imperial family met a tragic fate, and most of Fabergé's works were lost or scattered across the world. Peter Carl Fabergé died a broken man in Switzerland in 1920, having witnessed the destruction of his life's work. Of the 50 imperial Easter eggs Fabergé made for the imperial family, 43 are known to have survived today, and they are among the world's most treasured art pieces. Today, Fabergé works are kept in museums and private collections around the world, preserving the memory of their former glory. 10 imperial eggs are on display at the Kremlin Armory. The Matilda Geddings Gray collection is at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, and the Fabergé Museum in St. Petersburg houses the world's largest collection. Russian oligarch Viktor Vekselberg bought Malcolm Forbes's collection for $100 million in 2004 to bring these priceless cultural treasures back to Russia. You can also find Fabergé masterpieces in the museums of Baden-Baden and Cleveland, as well as in the collection of the British royal family. The Fabergé brand began a new era in 2007, when it was reborn in a modern sense, preserving its traditional heritage and craftsmanship, but adapting to contemporary design and business strategy. The goal of this renewal, besides innovation, was to honor excellence and tradition. The new House of Fabergé continues to create artistic works with contemporary collections and new techniques. The new creations, like the jewelry in the Secret Garden collection, follow the same idea: exceptional materials, innovative techniques, and that special Fabergé magic that turns every object into a work of art. Along with bright emeralds, padparadscha, sapphires, and raspberry rubies, pink spinels, tourmalines, and tanzanites make up the modern color palette. Fabergé's legacy goes beyond jewelry and ornaments. He created a new definition of luxury, where artistic perfection, not expense, is the measure. The guilloche enameling, the colored gold techniques, the masterful working of hard stones, all of this still inspires the world's finest jewelers today. The moment a Fabergé egg opens and the surprise hidden inside appears still creates the same enchantment today as it did a century and a half ago in the imperial court. This magic, this eternal beauty, this is Fabergé's true legacy, which outlives time and the storms of history. Fabergé's art isn't just about the sparkle of gold, gemstones, or rare materials. For him and his workshop, the most important thing was that an object's value doesn't only come from its materials, but from the creativity and artistic fulfillment that a creation conveys. If an object's value only came from its raw materials, then it wouldn't be true value. According to Fabergé's belief, value is the mix of idea, design, craftsmanship, and soul. His works are living examples that the power of art lies not just in outward appearances, but in the process of creation and human inspiration. This legacy is what makes Fabergé's creations timeless and captivating, and what serves as a guide for all who seek the true value of beauty and art. If you enjoyed this journey into Fabergé's world, please like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on other amazing stories. Thank you for being here. See you in the next video.